Raphael Baker reporting for Fighting Pride, just here with Johnny Nelson. Happy New Year, sir.
You too, you too.
Do you know what? I've been trying to catch up with you all week, but obviously it's just been busy, mate.
Yeah.
But we're here now. We're in Sheffield. Obviously, Kell Brook stepping up. What do you think of that step up against Rabchenko, and what do we know about Rabchenko?
I think it's a good fight. Rabchenko stopped Ryan Rose, just walked in here a few years ago. I think he finished Ryan Rose's career. Rabchenko's tough. These guys have sparred with each other before. Dominic knows Rabchenko's tough. Rabchenko knows Kell. He knows what he's good at. He knows what he's bad at. Kell is stepping into his territory now, stepping up to light middleweight. I think for Kell to step up to light middleweight is something he has to do. I believe Kell. I was surprised Kell could make welterweight all this time. I think, he proved that when he boxed Golovkin. He looked strong, he looked on point. Golovkin's just a beast. I think he's made the right move. And I think in this his performance here will tell us how much Kell has. I don't think it's a physical thing. I think it's a mental thing here because he's had, a rough couple of the last 2 years. Of course, there's a possibility of him fighting Amir Khan, so we think, because Amir Khan signed up with Matchroom. And to me, that fight has to be at light middleweight. It's got to be, because Cat's Kell. He's strong at it, and we know what he can do at it. But he needs to keep his eye on the ball and do what he's doing. And I think at this, we'll find out come the third how well he'll do. I mean, on a world stage. At light middle, because by looking at him, looking how he performs, if he performed like he did against Golovkin, strong, on point, he was fast, he was sharp, he was confident, even though he lost, that Kell Brook at light middleweight, without a doubt, I'd put him in the world title mix. But it's a case of how he is mentally, confidence-wise, desire-wise, and we won't find that till the third. And if Rabchenko puts him under pressure, then we'll see how much he really wants it.
For the people who don't know, watching this at home, what sort of style, how would you describe Rabchenko's style?
Tough, come forward, and make you work for the win. He's no pushover. He's underrated. If people think Rabchenko, he's a nobody, he beat Ryan Rose, former world title challenger. Ryan can fight, man, and Rabchenko just wouldn't leave him alone. And he was on his case, and Ryan just, he got lost to it.
So obviously, you would think that Kell should have moved up ages ago. Because I think at the end, advised him to do that.
I thought he would, but Kell could always make welterweight and there were some good fights out there at welterweight, so he said, "Now do it." But then, especially in the Spence fight, after we got halfway through the fight, so for the first time I'd see Kell physically manhandled in a fight, and I thought that don't have to kill, because Kell's strong than ox. But he also told me that to me he's no longer a welterweight, because he's no longer king of the hill. He's not strong at it. I think moving up to light middle is the best thing. I can remember when I boxed at cruiserweight, and it was 13-7, and I thought, I'm struggling here to make the weight, but then it moved up to 14-4. It gave me like another 2-3 years because I thought it was perfect. And I think Kell will feel that here. He'll think, you know what, I can actually do this now. I've moved up to here. I feel like I've got a lot more longevity in this game.
It's a massive card for Sheffield. Which fight stands out to yourself?
I'm looking forward to Gavin McDonald against Gamal Yafai. That's a really good fight. I'm really looking forward to that one. Kid Galahad, I want to see him in the mix, of course, and put in a show for the Sheffield fans. And of course, the main bout. And it'll be good.
So what do you think of Amir Khan coming over to Matchroom? Obviously, it does set up that fight for Kell and Amir.
I've criticised Amir Khan for the last couple of years, not for his boxing ability, because I think he's one of the fastest fighters I've ever seen. I've criticised him for some of the decisions he's made and the excuses he's made. Putting that aside, I think this is probably one of the smartest moves Amir's done at this stage in his career. Amir's made a lot of money, so he's done the right thing. That's what fighters do, they're in it to make money and win fights. But Amir's been out the ring over nearly 2 years now. So this, to me, is a good move for him to box at home, get maintain some kind of regular output, some regular fights for himself. Now, the other thing we've got to look on is housekeeping. Basically what I'm saying is, where's he going to train? Who's he going to train with? What weight's he going to come in at? Is he still going to train with Virgil Hunter out in the States? These are the things that we don't know that have not been addressed. He has a press conference on Tuesday in Liverpool. Maybe those questions will be asked. But so there's little things that you've got to find out about.
I mean, if Kell does fight Amir this year or early next year, what weight should he be fighting at?
Light middle.
Who would you give the advantage to at that weight?
At light middle, I cannot really put my hand on heart with that now. Before I'd have said, oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But because of the last couple of years of both fighters, you don't know where they are. So ask me that after the third.
Right.
Common sense would tell me Kell at light middle. If he was a welterweight, I'd say Amir.
Right.
You know, so you ask me that after Amir's box, ask me that after Kell's box, and then I'll say, you know what I see, what these fighters got less, X, Y, Z again. That's the only way I can answer that.
Okay, I just want to pick your brains on a couple of predictions. There's obviously Errol Spence, Lamont Peterson this weekend. How do you see that fight going?
Spence, I think Lamont Peterson is a good fighter. Spence, he's a very good fighter.
Right.
And so I'd expect Spence to get the win. Not a stoppage, but I'd expect to get a unanimous win.
Do you think he's the most dominant one in the 147, or are we looking at Crawford now as the new king of the hill?
I'd like to see them do together. That's the question. Yeah. I look at Spence, and when I saw him fight Kell, I didn't think, oh my God, this guy's unbeatable. Yeah. Like you look at Golovkin.
Yeah.
I just thought, he's good, man.
I thought Brook bullied him. That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I would look at him and think. So it was circumstances, it was situations how he beat Kell. So I don't look at him and think, man, Spence is outstanding, but he's a very good fighter.
Yeah.
So it's a big question. It's a big question.
That's that closer. March is a massive month for obviously heavyweight division. Who stands out? I mean, which fight stands out of those fights? Obviously, Luis Ortiz, Wilder, Joshua Parker.
You know what? I love that fight.
Yeah.
I love that
good
fight because, and I rate Wilder. Wilder needs a career-defining fight, and up to this point, Ortiz is it. Ortiz is the big name. Ortiz is the one that gets your attention. Ortiz is the one that makes us think, well, let me check out Wilder. If Ortiz performs, and I rate Wilder because Ortiz failed a drug test, and he said, I don't care, come on, let's do this. Went through again, fighting again, good. And I think on record, I think he's probably the best fighter Wilder's boxed. Yeah, right. Ortiz was number 5 in the ranking, and every heavyweight treated him like they treat Kid Galahad. They pretended he didn't exist, didn't want to know. And so Wilder said, no, I want this fight. Let's do this fight. So respect him. So that one, I'm looking forward to that. I find it intriguing. Obviously, I find the AJ fight intriguing as well, March the 31st, because there's a lot at stake. Because these guys are hoping to go down the road of creating history where they're going to try and they're wanting to unify the heavyweight divisions, and that's what AJ's plan is. Right. So again, it's intriguing, but to tell you the truth, I'm actually really looking forward to the Wilder fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was speaking to Spencer Fearman, and he's saying obviously Wilder wipes the floor with Ortiz all day.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. I think it's a tough fight for him. He lost a lot of questions. I think he'll pull it off. Yeah. It's going to be a tough fight.
Right. And Parker, Joshua, a lot of people think that Parker's out of his depth in this. Do you think?
No, he's out of his depth when it comes to experience of dealing with the big shows. But when the bell goes, whatever business is going on outside the ring, that's where it is. So I think Parker and Joshua, I think that's actually a really good fight. These guys have been watching each other from the amateurs. These guys, you look at the records, you look at their age, you look at what they're doing. They're actually progressing along the same level. It's just that Joshua's had the opportunities, and Joshua's punch power's pulled him off. Yeah. Now Parker's he's got a good right hand. He's used to winning. His level of opponents have not been the same as Anthony Joshua's. So there's a lot of questions to be asked about him. Is he mentally strong? Yeah. What happens when he does get hit on the chin? What happens when the fight does get tough for him? Because he's never been in that situation, whereas Anthony Joshua has.
Yes.
And what happens when he gets in front of 80,000 people in Cardiff? You know, so these are questions that you would pose to Parker, not Joshua. And so therefore, we'll learn a lot about Parker after that.
So can you see Joshua and Wilder at Wembley Stadium next year? Do you think them two are going to come out victorious and lock there next year?
Yes, I do expect them to. Right. And then it's down to the politics of the game. You know, the promoters have to deal with each other. They have to work with each other. The TV companies have to work with each other. Yeah. So that's what it's down to after that.
Right. And Tyson Fury, if he comes back, can you be the king of the hill again? Do you think?
Tyson Fury is such an unorthodox fighter. He fights unorthodox. He thinks unorthodox. And yeah, he can. I can't see him in that mix this year. Next year, yes. But it's a case of as long as he stays on the straight and narrow, and that desire still stays the same, that hunger still stays the same, I can see him getting a crack at it again.
And finally, yesterday, Dillian Whyte and Lucas Browne press conference. A lot was said, man. Yeah, a lot was said. Especially with the orangutan comments and the
I think Dillian. I think Dillian probably was a little too sensitive about that. He's saying, "My man, there was a racist undertone." No, there wasn't. Come on, you know.
He said he's got a Jamaican wife or girlfriend.
Yeah. There's no Jamaican. There's no racist undertone there. He's basically saying this man's got long arms. You know what I mean? And so what would you say? You got long arms like Mr. Tickle. You know, he says, "Boy, you got long arms like an orangutan," and that's how it is. And so I'm not on with that. I'm not on with that because there's been a lot more serious racial slurs that you want to take serious. Don't mix this in with that. This is that in the mix. I think these guys are straight talkers. They're straight talk, and I think this is a fight for Dillian to lose.
And the beef is real, isn't it? They
the
don't
beef.
like
We filmed the gloves are off afterwards. The beef is real. Trust me.
Without giving too much away, was it intense?
It was interesting.
Right.
It was interesting. So what I'm saying is Dillian, it's his for him to lose. If Dillian stands there and wants to have an argument with this man toe to toe, Browne is strong enough and powerful enough to take him out. So Dillian's got to box and fight.
Right.
That's how he's got to deal with this.
He said, obviously, you know, it could be an anticlimax. I think Dave Price said it could be an anticlimax.
Not at all. Because these guys are going to be like two bulls in a china shop. Nobody's running. This is like a tear. I don't see it going the distance.
Right. Okay. Early stoppage.
Yeah. Not early. It's going to be a tough fight. Stoppage mid to late rounds.
Right. Well, Johnny, it's been a pleasure catching up with you, my friend. All right. Bless. Thanks, man.